All right, meantime, New York Times columnist Paul Krugman not only defending Congressman John Lewis for calling President-elect Trump illegitimate, but calling it patriotic. Krugman asks, is it okay morally and politically to declare the man about to move into the White House illegitimate? Yes, it is. In fact, it's an act of patriotism. Patriotism means standing up for your country's values, not pledging personal allegiance to dear leader. Krugman goes on to explain why he thinks it's important to question Mr. Trump's power, writing, quote, talking frankly about how Mr. Trump gained power isn't just about truth-telling. It may also help to limit that power. Congress will be much more likely to stand up to a rogue, would-be authoritarian executive if its members realize that they will face a political price if they act as his enablers. Chris Direwalt is on the couch. Worried. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, I think the problem that we have right now is we're misunderstanding, or a lot of people are misunderstanding, what legitimate and illegitimate means. And to Harris's point earlier, he meets the constitutional requirements. He was elected president of the United States. He is, you may not like it, but he is legitimately your president, Paul Krugman. He's legitimately the president for the whole country. So using the fact that Russians hacked the DNC or what the FBI said about Hillary Clinton as a way to diminish his election, you can do that all you want, but you know what you won't do? You won't stop him in his agenda. Right now, Paul Ryan, Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell have got the football, and it looks like open field right in front of them. And the Democrats are standing on the sideline saying they didn't really win the coin toss. See, the coin toss, they didn't really win the coin toss because the heads wasn't really the heads and the tails wasn't really the tails. And they're not blocking. Cory Booker's right. If the Democrats want to be viable, they have to stop Donald Trump on issues, on agenda items, not just go back and relitigate the election.
It's a total red herring, right? I mean, it's so actually distracting for the Democrats when they should be, as Harris points out, kind of re-looking at, okay, guys, obviously we're doing something really wrong here, that this thing came down like this, and we didn't even foresee it.
Well, it is obvious.
It's very obvious, and they really could be taking this time to do that and reflect and thinking about 2018 and just a whole host of things that they should be doing policy-wise to position them better than they are. Instead, spending all this time relitigating this, it's not helpful. And after 4 years, if all the Democrats can tell their constituents is that we formidably oppose the president, that's a disservice to your district and to the American people.
I have not been tasked with proselytizing. Nobody expects me to do that. But I will say that it is not an accident that one of the tenets in the Bible is get the stick out of your own eye before you look at your neighbor. I don't think that the Democrats are willing to do that right now. So they're going to stay focused in on this. And do you know what's going to happen on Monday? We found that out from the Times of London interview with Mr. Trump over the weekend. He's going to start with his executive orders. He's going to roll like that. So they can either get on board or watch from afar, which I guess is what they're going to do at the inauguration, because I haven't heard anybody actually offering up their tickets. So they're still collectibles.
But I use the analogy of if you had a bowling ball in a net and you cut one strand, the weight on the other strands that are holding that ball up increases. And what we're doing now is we're cutting these threads around our institutions. We are, as Dr. K was saying, we are damaging these things, and the weight is shifting. And I promise you, if the institutions of this republic fail, it won't be one and we'll say, oh, that was too bad. But instead, we could experience systematic problems, and Democrats need to, Republicans do too.
That's a great caution.
Yeah, but everybody ought to be responsible.
Oh, I think Paul Krugman's a moron, and I don't know why anyone listens to anything he said ever since he said that Donald Trump was hoping for another 9/11. I mean, I don't think he should be allowed to write anymore. I think he's a moron. I can't. How much more of his columns have to be subjected to?
All right, we'll leave it there.
Laughing.
In short.
And final day.